with Nigeria being one of the countries most vulnerable to climate change. President Tinubu's attendance at the Abu Dhabi Sustainability Summit highlights the nation's determination to explore innovative solutions, foster international cooperation, and develop effective climate change policies that not only support sustainable development, but also mitigate the impacts of climate change in the country. But what and how exactly does Nigeria's national climate change policy correlate with its national energy transition plan? Well, let's bring in Charles Alpha for a quick brief on the issues. Charles, how exactly are these key development plans linked?
All right, thank you, Jumai, for having me on the Network News tonight. And now the Nigerian policy, climate policy, and the nationally determined contribution provide a robust roadmap and action plan which seeks to reduce greenhouse gases and also seeks to enhance environmental and climate resilient Nigeria. And so in 2012, the Nigeria's climate change policy was adopted to reduce greenhouse gas emission, focus on mitigation, adaptation, and governance. If you know climate change, the impact of climate change is growing day by day. We talk about the flooding, we talk about land degradation, droughts, and all of this. It is affecting the lives of people every now and then. And so what the policy provides is such that government, supported by the private organization, can collaborate to build the capacity of those who are affected, that is the victim, to be able to adapt to this impact of climate change. And we say, how does it relate to the Nigeria's energy transition plan? It aims to reduce the share of renewed energy in the energy mix, target 30% of electricity generation from renewable sources by 2030, and also focus on solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. And now this is what Nigeria is enriched with. And it is no surprise that the climate change policy is leveraging on all of these natural resources that Nigeria, have in the country. And so we begin to look at how is this linked with the Climate Action and Energy Transition Plan? The climate change policy provides the framework for reducing greenhouse gas emission. Now, the greenhouse gases that we have, you talk about carbon dioxide, you talk about nitrous oxide, you talk about burning fossil fuel, and not to forget the impact of methane, which is regarded as one of the most dangerous greenhouse gases that we have. So what this policy seeks to mitigate, to tackle is these greenhouse gases, which is increasing global warming, and of course the drive is to keep temperature well below 1.5 degrees Celsius. Now, how does it benefit Nigeria? It reduces greenhouse gas emission, like we said, methane and all of that, enhances energy security and reduces dependence on fossil fuel. The present administration is doing so much to transit from fossil fuel to renewable energy, and the CNG initiative of Mr. President is saying so much about what this policy is talking about. And then late last year in December, we also saw the House of Representatives, making a motion, passing a motion, or considering a motion, rather, considering a bill to that will allow polluters pay more, that is to say, discouraging gas flaring. So, like I said, it enhances energy security and reduces dependence on fossil fuel, promotes sustainability development, job creation, and poverty reduction. When all of these is properly implemented, this are what you get. Now, how does this strengthen climate change policy and energy transmission? Nigeria's Nigeria's transition plan is a comprehensive strategy designed to reduce. It creates for that transition to net zero. And if you look at what this is all about, it's such that it strengthens climate change policy, and the Climate Change Act of 2021 provides that the National Climate Council and Climate Change Secretariat is is embodied with the power to mainstream this climate policy, this climate change programs, action program into the economy and the major MDAs to be able to get all this. Now, the implementation funding will be key in ensuring that this climate change policy is effectively, implemented and carried out in such a way that it mitigates the impact of climate change in Nigeria. Jumai.
Charles, indeed, you've given an in-depth analysis of climate change in Nigeria and how the summit is going, and we're glad that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is taking this seriously. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Charles.
Thank you, Jumai.